What's up, everybody? It's Brandon and Chris back here again, and this is why we love the Justice League. So, I have seen it a couple times. Chris, you've watched it once.
Yeah,
at
least.
Yeah, and we wanted to do this earlier, but we kind of wanted to also wait it out, so we decided to do that. We wanted to see what the thoughts and reactions of everybody else was, so we can kind of address those, along with giving our thoughts and review on the movie. What were your impressions?
Well, I loved it.
Obviously.
As any other fanboy would.
Exactly, me too. I loved it too.
There was a lot of stuff that I didn't like. Not a lot of stuff. There was a few parts that I didn't like. Especially, obviously, Superman's face.
That was the very first scene.
Yeah.
Spoilers. You know what? We're just going to do a full spoiler, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's been out a week. If you ain't seen it, then.
Yeah, I'll put it in the title, too. Yeah, full spoiler alert. Anyway, yeah, the first scene shows Superman kind of found footage camera thing.
Yeah, getting interviewed by kids.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a neat scene.
Not a bad scene. Not needed.
Not something that needed. It was something that Whedon decided to put in.
I think so. I think that was pretty much. Well, I know that was what it was.
And okay, so everything that I didn't really care for, I can't say that I didn't like, but everything that I didn't care for in this movie, I found out later on, 99% of the stuff that I didn't like, Whedon was in charge of.
Yeah.
But then, since I've found that out, then I've found out that Whedon actually didn't have much control at all. It was mostly the studio said, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah, apparently Whedon had some things, but he lost a lot of control over that. They had some, I think they clashed and butt heads a little bit too, from what I've read.
Yeah.
It clearly shows the. I won't say it clearly shows the lack of direction. I just think it. I think it shows that there's too many irons in the fire, and I'm not meaning what's in the movie. I mean what the fucking people in control.
Yeah.
Of what's going on.
Too many chiefs.
Too many chiefs.
Not enough Indians.
Exactly. There were some issues, and we're not even gonna sit here and pretend like there wasn't. There was issues with Batman v Superman, and we talked about them too.
Not near as much as what people said there was.
No, and I think that holds true here.
Yeah,
I really do. I think this is getting shit on for a lot of reasons it shouldn't be getting shit on, and I think that there are valid reasons.
Yeah, there is,
and I think that there are reasons that are not the movie's fault as much as it is the. Or I wouldn't say, obviously the movie's being made, I would say it wouldn't be Whedon's fault, 100%, and it wouldn't be Snyder's fault.
No.
As much as it is Warner Brothers' fault. I mean, first thing was the CGI. Most of the CGI was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
There were a few scenes questionable.
I dare you. I've seen so many fucking Marvel fanboys, and that's the only explanation I can have, is that they're a Marvel fanboy. They can't look past their own fucking face to see that one is just as good as the other. You can't tell me, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, amazing movie. The CGI when the blue thing is going over the planet, over all the planets.
Yeah.
That was just as shitty as any bad CGI in Justice League. I have seen some shit CGI in even most recent Marvel movies. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the thing is in most movies.
Yes.
I mean, and every fucking movie now is plagued by that behind a green screen thing where it just the lighting and the way they shot it's as clear as day behind green screen, and that's not good, and I don't like that. I don't like it for any movie. So I mean,
everybody refuses to use practical effects,
right? And that's what I'm saying. I get that, and I get why that would be angering to some people. I get why that would look cheap, but you can't talk like not every other fucking movie does it. Everyone loved Hacksaw Ridge, but there was shit all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, it was all behind a green screen.
Yeah.
So, and most of fucking Avengers is too.
Yeah.
So, like, let's not kid ourselves. Most of Guardians is by it.
The only bad CGI the only CGI that I didn't like was Cavill's face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, fucking, I mean, I just...
There was only one other scene that I noticed.
Think of any...
The only one scene that I noticed that it's not even, it wasn't even that bad because it's not the big of a deal. It was only a small, short time. Was Wonder Woman's face in that freeze frame. Is right when Flash pushed the sword back and she had her mouth open like she was reaching and struggling.
Yeah,
that was a CGI face.
Really?
And yeah, you can see her mouth was weird. But other than that, it didn't look terrible. It didn't look as bad as his obvious, droopy, blurry
the
lip.
face was obvious.
Yes, obvious. So, I don't know.
There was people complaining about Cyborg's CGI. Fuck you.
Oh, dude, Cyborg looked great.
Looked badass.
He looked great.
That looked wicked badass.
Like 99% of the time, it looked amazing.
Yeah.
I really do think so. And he was one of the better characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was. Not near as good as the Flash.
No. The
Flash stole the show.
Yeah. Which, and I said this in the video a while back, and I've been saying it for a while. I figured Aquaman would steal the show.
Yeah.
Or I knew Aquaman and Flash would steal the show.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I figured Aquaman would have better moments. Mm-hmm. Most of his really good moments were in the trailers, and that's fine. Flash had what was the show.
Oh, yeah.
I think I actually could go so far to say that Cyborg had better moments than Aquaman.
Yeah,
in some places. Well, he was more intriguing.
Yeah.
Like, I love Aquaman, don't get me wrong. Like Momoa did amazing.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Truly amazing.
Yeah.
I want to see more. And I thought he had really good moments, but I think even though I'm not a big Cyborg fan, I was more compelled by him.
Yeah.
And Flash just was great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's not even really Flash yet. He's Barry Allen in a Flash suit.
Yeah.
He's not, by the end of it, he's kind of getting that, he's getting his job as a forensic, that's one of those things that everything in the end, we'll get to this in a little bit, but it's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But I think Flash was truly the best thing about the movie.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
not the best. It was one of the best things about the movie.
My favorite scene from this movie was when Superman caught the Flash out of the corner of his eye.
100%.
And everybody I talk to says the same exact thing. That's their
like,
favorite
I'm
scene.
getting goosebumps thinking about it right now.
It's
Like seeing
awesome.
he comes out, he's pissed off, he's whipping he's whipping the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Has them all held down, and he just slowly moves his eyeball and then turns his head. And Flash is just scared shitless, and it's all in slow motion, but it's all awesome, man. Him catching him,
yep,
that was awesome. There's a couple other scenes too, and I'm sure I'll think of them here just here a little bit.
And most scenes, I'm not a big Superman fan, but most scenes that he is in
was incredible.
Yeah. Like I got all fanboyish, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Giddy like a little schoolgirl whenever Superman was on there.
Yeah.
Like at the end when he fights Steppenwolf. That was fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
Like, because he's just like stepping to the side and all like laughing at him.
Yeah, he's just smiling as he's dodging his punch, and he's just, is this guy bothering you still?
Yeah.
And then, oh man, he we're finally here. Like we like, for anybody who's a fan of DC or a fan of Superman, guys, we are finally here.
Yeah.
At a point where this is the Superman we've been waiting for.
Oh yeah.
This is the Superman that we've been wanting.
He is full-fledged Superman.
He is full-fledged Superman now. This isn't your moody, mopey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know who I want to be.
It's not teenage Superman.
Where do I belong in this world? Like, this dude is back alive. He has his purpose. He knows his purpose. He's happy to be alive. He understands, even though it was a little bit of a mess getting here, he's right where he needs to be. He is the hope and faith of the world.
Yeah.
And he recognizes that, and he likes being alive, and God damn it, he feels like it seems like he's way more powerful. Like he's very powerful.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure
he's got to be way more powerful than he was. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
He's
just not holding back now.
He's just not holding back. Like, he knows who he needs to be and what needs to go on. It's incredible. That fight with the Justice League, man. Wow.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
the heartbeat moment, Aquaman, you need to control your heart rate. Something's not right with him, and he's freaking out, and oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool. Everybody else was calm, kind of, and like Flash was in awe. Like, he was just happy.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He's a kid that doesn't have a lot of experience, and he's just happy to be there. That point when he pushed that fucking tip of that sword back to her, and he was so proud of himself for helping, and just, that was awesome. But that was a cool scene, and then him fucking trading headbutts with Wonder Woman, and then headbutting her into the ground was so fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was awesome when
the "Do you bleed" moment when he him fucking one-handed.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that was awesome when he's like, "Do you bleed?"
Yeah.
Because it was like you. Right then, he's like, "I remember you."
Yeah, I remember.
I love that shit.
It's weird though in the way, because it's like you were in good standing with Clark right before you died. So how do you not remember that? But he was just so.
Well, he just kind of.
I think he was just a little bit confused.
At the moment, he just remembered that Batman tried to kill him.
Yeah, I think he was just, everything was coming back to him, and he was just confused, and so I mean, it works. It just I kind of understand.
Well, you got to think he didn't know Flash, he didn't know Aquaman, he'd only met
Diana right before her.
Exactly, like 5 minutes before he fucking died.
Right.
So I mean, the only person there that he knew tried to kill him.
Yeah, actually tried, almost killed him. Yeah, exactly. You started seeing the Superman. You started to see the betterment of the character in Batman v Superman from Man of Steel.
Yeah,
and then this is full on where we want to be with Superman. So that's amazing.
Yeah, he's going to be Superman. He will be Kal-El.
He is the light to the dark of everything else, and he is. That is amazing.
Yeah,
that's I can't wait to see everything else going forward.
Took us 3 movies.
Finally, Batman even more incredible in this one. I don't think he had nothing with Batman in this movie topped the warehouse scene from Batman v Superman.
No, not action wise.
No,
not action
wise, but everything else wise, detective wise, scientist kind of wise.
Well, and there was a couple times that he pretty much told Wonder Woman that he's willing to die to bring Superman back.
Yeah,
just because he knows that he's not going to be able to help people like Superman can.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the most powerful things in that movie for me, and that was another one of my favorite dialogue scenes was with Alfred. This is before the Diana stuff. Yeah. When he says, "Because he's more human than me."
Yeah,
he's more human than me. The world needs Superman, and the team needs Clark.
Yeah,
and that was so fucking powerful.
Yeah,
that was showing you that Batman just needs to be Batman.
Yeah. Was
he's playing to his strengths, and somebody else needs to take over.
Yeah, I liked when Diana came in the room behind him, and he had his shirt up and all those bruises on his back.
Yeah, shoulders separated.
Yeah, that was really cool because you could see on her face.
She was mad at him, and then she was. I think it humbled her a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's because she realized, oh fuck, this is a guy who's trying to be somebody he's not for us.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to bring me out of my own pity.
Yeah.
Because Diana has self-pity because of Steve Trevor. Not as bad as Superman did, for whatever fucking reason, just being a drama queen. But because of Steve Trevor, it's not allowed her to open up and be the symbol and the idol that she is to the world.
Yeah.
And like I said, you get to see all that. She had some cool moments. The Batcrawler was in. That was awesome.
Wonder Woman probably had some of the better fighting moments.
Well, yeah, because she's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'd say she did.
I'm telling you, this new 52 Rebirth style. Mm-hmm. I love all these characters.
Yeah, I do too.
Since then, Aquaman wasn't as strong as he is in this movie.
No, not in the comics.
Not in the comics.
I don't understand. Aquaman is right up there with Superman and Wonder Woman strength wise. I don't understand why he's not just whooping the shit. Which he was. He was whooping the shit out of everybody.
Kind of seemed like he was struggling to hold all that water back a little bit, but it was all right.
But I think he's if you go by what the foundation they kind of laid in this movie is that he's not he hasn't accepted his king of Atlantis.
Right.
You know, he's just kind of there. He talks to fish or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And he just kind of hangs out helping people every now and then for whiskey.
Yeah, for whiskey.
But you know, so he's probably still young too in his, you know, Aquaman.
Oh, definitely. I think so too. I think most of them are.
Yeah.
Other than Dianus and Bruce, and I think that's just. But they're all still learning and changing and growing, and Bruce is growing even more because he's kind of like the Batman of old again.
Yeah.
You know what? Assuming that's what Batman used to be like in this universe before, like Jason Todd died and he went to a dark place, and you know, like I said, you know, I've said it a bunch, but it's a reoccurring thing. This movie ended exactly where we needed to be. No matter how messy it was, it don't matter if you agree about everything that happened or if you understand it, doesn't matter, because by the end of this movie, we were exactly where we need to be with every character. And that's what's great, because I mean, it's not like a cop out or a clean slate. It just is what it is. I honestly think I was disappointed there was no black suit for Superman. I do wonder how much was cut and changed.
Oh, apparently over an hour.
Yeah, they're saying over an hour or around an hour of footage that's missing or
and I
changed.
want to fucking see it.
I do too. I want to. Well, for one, there was 2 or 3 scenes that, you know, that teased in the trailers.
Oh yeah,
that we didn't even see at all in the movie, and I know that they do that sometimes, but these were elements like that supposedly tease something big, or you know, or supposed to be some kind of moment, and was never there. So were they just for the trailers? Were they supposed to be a part of something? Are they going to be deleted scenes? Because we see Clark. You know, the last thing we see is Clark before he shows up as Superman to fight Steppenwolf is him on the farm.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Does he go to Alfred? You know, is that scene where he says he said you would come. I hope you're not too late. Is that him going to Alfred to find out where they went?
Yeah. Or to get his suit.
Or to get a suit. Or did he automatically hear? And I don't know exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on. Was there more? Was that hologram him? Was that hologram? Supergirl.
I'd say the hologram's him.
Yeah. It might have been.
Yeah,
it just makes you wonder though.
Yeah.
There's just shit that I wish they'd clear up. I do want to see more. I am interested, you know, and it might not have been done, but you know, there were some screenings, and I don't know much about it, but there were some early screenings of this film a few months back that apparently didn't make any fucking sense to these people. And I wouldn't mind being able to see that myself.
Yeah.
Cause I want to know from my perspective, my knowledge of this series, of this universe, of the comics, what exactly didn't make sense?
Well, to a casual, I mean,
well, that's what I mean. It was these casuals,
really know.
Obviously, like, because I mean, like we a lot of things that people I didn't think liked about BVS was the fact that it was shot very much like a comic book, and that's something we talked about in our previous videos.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that.
And this one here was a lot less like that. It's more of an ensemble film, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it makes you wonder: was this still true to the formula of the last couple, or you know, was this? You know, I don't know. Like, it just makes you wonder.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see. I'd like to see for myself: is there a true fan? You know, there's fans that are claiming there's some kind of true version out there, or there could be footage to make a director's cut.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be opposed to that if it's something that existed. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it
for sure.
Hell, I love the director's cut of BVS.
I did too. It didn't add a lot, but it added.
No, but it added some.
It added enough to make sense.
Yeah,
like what happened to the woman from you know over there, and like the one who testified against Superman and lied.
Yep,
that made sense. There was a few cool scenes with Batman that were added back in.
Yep,
another minor character was added in to help Lois find out about that bullet.
Yep.
I mean, there's
there was the military guys at the first of it that was added in.
Yeah. There was more explanation of what went on over there.
Yep. From
the CNR end. That was awesome. I think the thing is, going in to this movie, the first time I watched it, I liked it, but I was indifferent because I expected everything to go down so much different, and I was confused by the missing scenes, and I'm like, why did it go down this way? We didn't have a black suit. I wasn't disappointed, but I kind of was. I don't know. Like, I wasn't mad. I was just, because I enjoyed the film, but I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, what's going on? And then, you know, it's 2 hours long, and you find out that, you know, Warner Brothers, because of pressure, decides to cut the movies 2 hours. I mean, you're taking off 45 minutes, an hour off the movie that probably should be that long. I know that people may not want to sit at the theater that long, but I do.
Oh yeah.
This is something like when's the next Justice League coming? You know, we don't know. 2018, it's going to be 1920 maybe at the earliest.
Yeah.
Because we still got Batman, we still got Flash, we still got Aquaman, we've got.
I think Flash has been suspended.
Has it? I mean, are they rushing forward with Wonder Woman 2? Or I think they're rushing.
I think they are.
Are they going forward with Man of Steel 2 now quicker? I know they got to get.
They're going to have Wonder Woman 2 before any of the others. I mean, Aquaman is going to be
for sure
this next year,
right?
And then I'm not positive, but I think from the way it sounds like they're going to rush Wonder Woman 2 because Wonder Woman did so good.
Yeah, well, I understand.
I don't blame them, but at the same time, I think they need to build. They need to keep building this universe instead of trying to rush
that's the thing about these, like Justice League, even more so than the Avengers. Justice League shows these characters constantly working with each other and constantly. I mean, you can just throw these characters in other standalone films.
Well, that's what I said about Cyborg. We don't need a Cyborg movie.
No, we don't.
We can just have Cyborg in every other movie.
Yeah,
like he is an awesome
supporting
character.
Yeah,
we don't need his own movie.
And I was fascinated by. I loved Victor Jones what's his name? Who played Victor Jones? Damn it! Oh shit!
I can't think of his name.
I apologize. I can't remember either. But
he's good.
He was awesome. Ray Fisher.
He loves the role.
Ray Fisher.
He loves the role. He loved working for Snyder.
Oh, he's a comic and game nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy seems like a cool fucking guy.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah. And these guys just are absolutely over the moon about being here.
Yeah.
And and I'm so fucking sick of comicbook.com and everybody else. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but Ben Affleck, no matter how long he's got left, is still going to be Batman. And he's still and whether I've heard people say that he didn't act like he was thrilled to be here and he didn't do very good because he didn't act like he was wanting to be there. Motherfucker's happy to be there.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
just not an overjoyous man.
Yeah, like, every single interview that I see him do, he's like, man, you'd be crazy to not want to do this role.
Just because he's not Ezra Miller crazy, excited, or Ray Fisher excited, doesn't mean that he's not. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But he does. You can tell that he loves the role. And he wants to do it as long as he can.
And that's awesome.
And he said that. He said he's going to do it as long as he can do it.
Yeah.
But there is going to be a day that he has to step down. And then all of a sudden you got comicbook.com going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's already trying to get out of Batman.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
Man, he just said.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
He just said that he wants to keep doing it as long as he can.
Exactly.
He should not, people shouldn't have to defend what they say because of people like comicbook.com.
I know.
But anyway,
but that's the thing is and we did this with the BVS video and some others, but we constantly find ourselves in defense mode instead of talking about how great these movies are, how what this could have, and that's the thing.
Giving constructive criticism.
Yeah, giving constructive criticism because not all Marvel movies are perfect, and it usually takes hindsight for people to realize that, well, this movie wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Most people absolutely fucking just jerk off to Marvel movies until the next one comes out, and they're like, well, this one wasn't so good after all.
Yeah.
Everyone liked Age of Ultron, not as much as the first one, but they liked it, and now it's like the worst one ever, right?
Yeah.
And they're comparing this to Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of both fair and unfair. I think it's unfair in the fact that I thought this was a better film than Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah, me too.
But at the same time, the only thing comparable to Age of Ultron was the villains.
Yeah.
They're forgettable villains. I think Steppenwolf is actually much more badass than they show in this movie. However, what can you do for this ensemble film? I know this is the first run, but everybody was just ready to shit on this before.
Before it even came out.
Before it even came out. It was already, before it even completely released everybody, you were getting Rotten Tomato scores of 40%. And people still take way too much into that. Like they still
Well, I think we put more stock in Rotten Tomatoes than most people. Like, I think the general audience, like most people, like, you know what I mean? The people that watch these movies but don't really, like, they're not like us. They don't buy all the merchandise for, they don't have thousands of Batman comics or, toys and statues and posters and shit like that. But, these general people, they might see the Rotten Tomatoes score, but they're still going to go watch the movie. Most people that I know, they'll go, "What's Rotten Tomatoes?"
Yeah, well, that's here though. You know what I mean? But I mean, most people. There's more people even here that come into my store of written movies, and they're like, "Well, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have a very good score, so I don't know if I want to rent it." There's people who still put a lot of stock into that shit. I'm like, man, don't listen to that.
They're stupid.
Yeah, well, they are. That's what I'm saying. They are.
I mean, really, there is.
I said, do not listen to those. They don't. You need to decide for yourself.
Like most of those movies that get low scores, I actually end up liking them.
Oh, that's what it usually goes for most people.
I got a perfect example,
because they'll come tell you afterwards, "Oh my god, it was terrible." I don't know why.
I got a perfect example. Rotten Tomatoes has the movie Boyhood. Mm-hmm. At like 100%.
Yeah.
It is the most dog shit, stupid, piece of shit, crappy ass movie you'll ever see in your life. It's like 5 fucking hours long, and I couldn't even make it an hour without turning it off because it was so boring.
Garbage.
It's so fucking boring.
Yeah.
I grew up a boy. I don't need to watch another boy. And, like, it's just regular shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But they gave it 100% just because it was one of the critics' directors. Mm-hmm. These critics have certain directors that they'll give a break. They'll say, "Oh yeah, well, everything he does is amazing."
I think there are instances where people like take too much into it. They end up taking too much stock into what these critics say and what these other people say.
Oh yeah,
I understand that there are fair judgments about this. I think there are things that are wrong with this movie. I just think that it's once again getting bad flack. I think it's
still an amazing movie.
Everyone loves Thor because Thor Ragnarok, and it was great. It was fun. Hilarious. I think there was way too much humor into it. I think that it was more humor than it needed to be. It didn't take away from the film because it's funny.
Let me tell you,
the easiest way to hide a film's problems is to just dump a shit ton of humor.
Humor.
Of humor, and that's what they did.
I was about to say, if you can read the fucking comic book series of Thor Ragnarok and think that it has any fucking thing to do with this movie, with Thor Ragnarok the movie, you are high as a kite.
Yeah, yeah.
It has
they don't care about source material.
There's similarities, but that's it.
They don't care about source material. They want a good fucking time.
Yeah,
and I get that, but you need to understand that there are people out there, a growing number of people, a huge portion of people, not the biggest portion because casuals are still bigger, that want to see actual comic book movies. I don't know, be a fucking comic book movie.
Yeah,
and not just be the same old regurgitated nonsensical formula that something like Thor Ragnarok was a victim to.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love Thor Ragnarok. It was fun. How could you not like it? Because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's funny, it's funny. It's just, I understand why they did it. That's what people want to see. People don't give a fuck about these stories and these characters.
No.
And it's because of people like you and critics like the ones that are doing this. That's because of you motherfuckers that WB, which are not any saints themselves, and they like to micromanage shit, and they did it right here. Because of you, mostly because of you, they felt pressured to cut this movie down from 2.5 to 3 hours, whatever the fuck it was, on top of everyone complaining about Batman v Superman being so long, to cut this down right under 2 hours. Hour and 59 minutes or whatever the fuck it was.
it needed to be longer.
It did, and that's what and when I first went in there and watched it, and I was going to make this point earlier. When I first went in, I thought it was okay, and there was some stuff missing, but I'm like, man, I feel like there needed to be more there because it just felt really rushed. It was a really rushed ensemble film.
Yeah, it was,
and that's because it was clear as fucking day that there were reshoots and that there were. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't. It was fun if you wanted to look at it as a Marvel ensemble film.
Yeah.
But it's a DC film, and it shouldn't have been that way.
No.
People were and see, that's what I'm saying. People are now complaining because they wanted more backstory to Flash and Cyborg. They probably cut some of that shit out. Who knows?
Yep.
Like, there's this thing, you don't fucking know. This is the kind of shit that happens. You got these companies who are trying to play catch up because you put so much fucking pressure on them to be like somebody else. And that's another thing too. You want everything to be, you want something new and original come out. You don't want to be an exact copy of Marvel or whatever. And here we are. When it's not, when BVS come out and it wasn't like Marvel, you wanted Marvel. I mean, that, I'm ranting now, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's true.
But they felt pressure, and this is the fucking thing we got. You have to bring Mr. Golden Boy Joss Whedon in. I like Joss Whedon, okay?
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? He did Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
The one that you're complaining about. He helped with that.
Whedon has...
he did the first Avengers, which was great, but...
He's made some amazing movies.
Yeah, he has.
But he's also made some really crappy ones. But I usually like his style, for the most part.
For the most part.
But I don't really know if he is up to, I don't think his style will mesh with Justice League. He's set to do Batgirl. Mm-hmm. His style will work great for Batgirl.
Sure.
But his style for Justice League or Batman or Aquaman,
I don't want him anywhere near it.
No, I don't think so.
No. Maybe Superman. I don't even want Superman.
No, I don't want it.
I don't want Superman. I don't know if I want Snyder as Superman. I think Snyder should be Batman. I think Snyder should be Batman, Aquaman.
And he's not even doing that.
No, he's out now. Yeah. He's out. That's fine. And that's fine. Whatever. We're going forward.
Yep.
I don't know. I still think that this film was incredible. I want to see another extended version, maybe, if there is one. That'd be great.
Yes.
But this is getting way too much shit. Like I said, I mean, we have talked about a lot of the issues with this, but there's a lot of reasons why, and I think people need to realize that it's their doing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the reason why this is dog shit is because you don't fucking care enough to let something good happen when you can't recognize when something different and good. I mean, you could have gave Batman v Superman constructive criticism or whatever. I mean, sure, you loved Wonder Woman. It was a great film.
Yeah.
You loved it because somebody else did it.
Yeah.
When
really, I mean, Snyder had a lot to do with Wonder Woman.
Of course he did.
But nobody wants to talk about that.
I mean, Patty Jenkins directed it, so it's different. She did a great job, though, by the way.
Yeah, she did.
Anyway, still, I love this movie. I think it is getting way too much hate, even with all the problems. I think that there's another version out there, or could have been another version out there that would have been even much, much better. Would be much more better, but I don't know, guys. I
don't know. I love the movie. I mean, even when I say even with all its faults, but there really is not that many fucking faults.
There's not.
There's just a few nitpicky, other than Cavill's mustache lip. Yep.
Mustache lip, and it could have been longer.
Yeah.
It could have been longer because of the scenes and stuff they showed, and I just wanted, and a lot of it's just I just wanted more because I'm a huge fan, and there's no telling when. I don't even know what the schedule looks like now.
Yeah,
because it's a mess. It's a mess, and it's a mess because of all this bullshit. So, I'm only getting more angry because things could have been falling into place
much better,
and could have been, and the things that needed to be fixed could have been fixed smoother than it is now. And it's a near $300 million budget, and it just passed the $400 billion worldwide grossing mark.
Yeah.
So it's not doing amazing, but it's made its money back.
Oh yeah.
But it's not doing amazing compared to their standards. and it's going to be in theaters a few more weeks, so it's probably going to hit. I think it's still going to hit 700 or 800 million at least. But you know, right now it's not on track to even be one of the highest.
Yeah,
and it's better than Batman v Superman, and it's better in a lot of ways, most ways.
Yeah,
it's better than Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah,
but you know, by far, but you know, you don't. But the numbers might not show it, and why? Why? Because people are shitting on it too much. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and that and studio intervention.
That studio intervention's a lot of it. Marketing. There's no telling what they spend on marketing too. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're trying to fix something so fast.
Well, they're trying to fix something that wasn't broke.
Right.
Just because critics didn't like something doesn't mean that it wasn't good. Yeah. It doesn't mean that people weren't responding.
It was unwatchable. Well, you know, you're trying to appease to too many people who would take you or leave you in a fucking instant.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just going to take you or leave you in an instant. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, and most people wouldn't even leave them. They'd still watch it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, exactly. You're right. I, for one, though, you know, have a lot harder time watching my favorite characters when they're absolute dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I actually give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Before we go, though, one last one. I gotta say that the 2 ending credit scenes were great. Were great.
Awesome.
Because one, it extends that. The first one was Flash and Superman getting ready to race.
Yeah. Across the country.
Which I absolutely fucking love, because they've done that in cartoons and stuff like that, too, in the past. Fucking love it. That was fun. And then the very last scene, I'm assuming if it's not setting up for Justice League, I think it's setting up for Batman. The Batman.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's setting up, because they've been talking about Joe Manganiello being Deathstroke and him being the main bad guy, or one of the main bad guys of Batman in the new Batman movie, and we got Deathstroke.
Yeah.
On a yacht.
And he looks amazing.
Looks amazing.
You know what? God. You know what? I'm going to dare to say Jesse Eisenberg looks amazing as Luthor.
You went there.
I don't care.
Dude, okay, okay, like everything about that scene was awesome, right? Because
yes.
One, like Eisenberg looked really good with a bald head in a suit.
Oh yeah.
For some reason.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't absolutely like, you liked it more than I did in BBS.
Yeah.
But I actually didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people did.
Yeah.
Because I kind of look at him as like Lex Luthor Jr.
Yeah, I do too.
He is,
I do too.
And not so much as the old Lex that we know.
Because he talked about his dad, Lex,
a lot.
Yeah, he talked about his dad, Lex Senior.
Exactly, and that's kind of what I feel like that's, you know what I mean. Even though the timelines are different with Superman and everything, I feel like it's like an alternate deal. Like, you know what I mean. So that's kind of how I look at it. I don't know. He's squirrely. I don't like Eisenberg in anything, but
There's been a few that I've liked.
But Zombieland, you know.
American Ultra was pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right. But anyway, he looked really good, and there was there was a throwback to the old school Lex Luthor a little bit in that, you know, with seeing him and then Deathstroke looked fucking amazing.
Oh yeah,
he looked amazing without the helmet, and it's obviously going to set up. And he said something about starting their own league.
Yeah.
What's it going to be? Is it going to be you think it's going to be Legion of Doom, or you think it's going to be Injustice League?
I don't know. Probably Legion of Doom.
I hope. I really don't care either way.
I don't either.
I mean, Injustice League didn't that have the Joker?
I believe
Joker was in that.
I think they all were. I think all of them.
Yeah,
I think they all were.
Dude, Legion of Doom.
I think it was all the.
They need to do the swamp deal.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom, that fucking stupid, but I love it. It's great. Have the Wonder Twins in there.
Yeah.
No, don't do that, Warner Brothers. I do want the Legion of Doom, but not the Wonder Twins. Well, that's another thing we need to get. We need to get Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern in there pretty soon. So
Green Lantern more than.
So we need to get this shit going. That way we get to the next Justice League.
Yes,
for real. But I'm ready for Batman. Anyway, I think overall it was an awesome movie, and I loved it more than I hated it. There wasn't a whole lot to hate about it.
No. I loved the hell out of it.
I think and the second time I watched it, I absolutely had a blast watching it.
Yeah.
By the way, I think the second time knowing what I'd seen the night before and then going back the next night, I just had so much fun watching it.
Yeah.
It was just so like really, like if you only watched it once and you didn't like it that much, or it's like you were indifferent about it, go back and watch it again, just have fun with it, because it's so much better than a lot of people are giving it credit for.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't know. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this. I know we ranted a lot about some other shit, but I'm more mad at the politics.
Oh yeah,
so to speak.
Oh yeah.
The micromanaging.
Yeah.
And
can
what
you
could have
imagine?
been,
Can you imagine if there was things like Rotten Tomatoes back in the 80s and 90s?
oh my god, dude!
How bad some of these movies would have failed?
Yeah, because people just put way too much into it. Just
like
fucking
we
terrible.
wouldn't have half the shit that we got now.
Yeah,
if that stuff would have existed back then.
yeah, I know.
Just think about that.
Absolutely insane. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys watching, and this will do it for us now, and we'll see you next time.